Alright, this time we're going to be working on part 2, the stack. So plus create part studio. So for this part, when we're going to be making it, we're going to be ignoring this hole that's cut out to start with, and then we're going to put it back in, well, add it in at the end. So we're going to create sketch, front plane, front of our cube to make it nice and flat. We are going to put our original line, and we're going to add in the dimension for this one. So this is our tallest dimension right here, which is 1.75. 1.75. Okay. So next we're going to draw kind of like a, I don't have a name for the shape. I'm just going to draw it. So we're going to make sure that this piece is at 90 degrees. 90 degrees. We're going to put this one in. These next ones you're going to kind of put in however you want, but see that little symbol that popped up where it kind of looks like it is perpendicular with a little box? Make sure you do not have that symbol when you place this one in. So maybe you can make it a little bit more shallow or something, or move it over. But I'm going to move mine over here, but see this little dotted line that's popping up right across right here? I do want that one to show up. So I don't want that little kind of upside down T with a box, but I do want that dashed line. So I'm going to place that in and then close off the top. Alright, so what I'm going to do is take this line and I'm going to turn it into a construction line. So something you're going to notice is that gray shaded area. When I click on it, it goes away. So what we're using, again, is the construction line as our center line. So we can place some dimensions the way I'd like to put them in, so we don't have to think about divided by 2 or anything. We can just place them in. But at the end, we need to undo that step. So we're now going to add in our dimensions. So we're going to go to our next one, which is this point right here, down to here, and move it over. And that is from here all the way down. So that is 1.5. Alright, our next height dimension is this little tiny one. Well, it was tiny, now it's going to be tiny again. So we're going to add that in. It's a 1/4 inch, which is 0.25. Alright, so that kind of looks mush, so I'm going to move that over. Okay, so the next one I'm going to add in is this bottom dimension. So I'm going to click on the corner, click on our center line, and scoot it over. So remember, if you have it on this side, you're just going to do whatever number I just said divided by 2. So click here. And then we can type in our 1/2 inch, which is 0.5. Alright, our next one is going to be from this corner to our center line and over. So that is from here all the way over. So on this image, it's a little hard to see where it is, but it's actually this one right here. So that is, oh, where did I put it? Here, right here. So that is 1.25. Alright, and then we're going to put in the angle. So the angle shows just right here, where it shows it at 15 degrees. But how I place it in, that I found the easiest to do, is actually do the 15 degrees plus 90, which gives us our 105, which is why I have 105 right here. So how I'm going to place it in, I'm going to get this line, and then I'm going to get that blue line and scoot it over here. So you could flip it the other way, but then we have a really large number. In some other CAD programs you use, it'll flip to the dimension that I had over here, but this one doesn't, so we're just going to scoot it inside. And again, we have 1 point, oh my goodness, I'm forgetting numbers too. 105. There we go. Alright, so actually before I can close out our sketch, we need to, again, remember, undo our construction line, and now we got that gray area again. So now we can see that all our lines went from blue to black. We have that shaded area, so we are all set to revolve. So this is what I said by we're just drawing a piece of it without the hole. So we're just drawing that shaded area without the hole. So now we're going to revolve. We're going to revolve our shape around our axis. Oh, there it goes. And check mark. So now we have our basic just shape here. So I'm going to click on my dimensions and scoot to my next chunk. So the next chunk of dimensions is going to be for the hole that we cut in. So this, how you add it in, is going to be a little different than probably what you're expecting. But we're going to go Sketch, go to this top surface right here, the topmost surface. We're going to put in a point, and just so you can see what I'm talking about, we're going to be putting it at the origin. So I know it looks like I didn't do anything, but it's one of those things where when you add it in, the origin is larger than what I just added in, so it looks like I didn't click anywhere, but I did click right where the origin is located. Alright, so now check mark. So you can see now that I kind of tipped it. You can see that little tiny dot. That is the point that I placed in. So now we can use the, where'd it go? Oh, here it is, hole tool. So for this hole tool, we're going to tell it, hey, I want to use that dot right there. So you might still have yours set to simple, but I was playing around with the program earlier, so I already had it set to counter bore. But so simple hole is just drawing or cutting a hole just straight in. We want a counter bore because this kind of has that step to it. So what we're going to do is add in the dimension for this first piece. This is the depth, or not depth, the diameter of the smaller hole. Okay? So if you're looking at this, it kind of looks like we're doing things a little bit weird, but what you would do is if you were to cut this out in real life, you'd cut the smaller diameter hole first, and then you do the larger hole diameter. So we're going to do kind of how it has in right here. So our smaller diameter is the top one right here. So it is, oh, I have it typed in from before, but it is 0.372. All right. And then if you were to drill this, then you'd add in the 1.5 inches depth, but I'm just going to go in the same order that it has on this, just to make it a little bit easier for you to follow along. So the next one that it's referencing is the largest diameter. So we went from the smallest diameter to largest diameter. So our largest diameter is right here, which is 0.875. Then we go to our smallest depth, which is 0.375. And then we go to our largest depth. So this is one that's a little harder to read from our drawing right here. But you can see our total height of the entire piece and then the height of this little portion. It's actually this one minus that one, which is where I got my number. So that is 1.5 for the depth. And then I can click on my green check mark. Okay. So this might be a little hard to see, like the hole that's cut into it. Let's see, is there a way to turn this easily? Not quickly. But you can see that we cut in our object. Okay, so now we have our piece. Make sure it didn't go through the bottom. You don't want a hole in the bottom. You're just cutting part of the way through. So that is our stack. Oh, we got to rename our tab. So number 2, stack. Alright, so that is the finished piece, and in the next video I'm going to show you how to make the work drawing. So, good luck!